I've got a UFO story. It used to be the only thing I would be afraid of in the woods when I was younger was the thought of aliens. I blame Stephen King, and maybe as a result I blame my parents for allowing me to read Stephen King in my formative years. I think it was the book Tommy Knockers that just really messed me up for the longest time with regards to our intergalactic friends. I think it was 2 months ago, maybe 3. It'd be easy enough to research. I am on the west coast of Florida, and naturally there's a lot of rocket launches on the east coast of Florida. Now this is important to keep in mind, so put that little bit of information in your back pocket. One particular morning, you may have noticed I'm an early riser, like now. This is, what is it, fucking 4:02 a.m. right now as I'm recording this. So typically I'm up around this time. I start my mornings. And I'm looking over in this direction, which is kind of the southeast. I'm on the west coast of Florida, and over on the east coast is where we have all those launches. So I'm looking over towards the eastern sky. I didn't think much of it, and I saw the strangest just thing in the sky. It was enough so that as I was looking at this strange thing in the sky, my first impulse was, wow, I should bring my camera up and take a picture of it. I should take some video of it. And I thought, no, these days you can have anything, show anything. Nobody's going to possibly believe you. Are you having some sort of a mental episode? I mean, this is a really strange thing in the air. If you've seen the flop movie Green Lantern, you know, when the bad guy was this big weird wad of shit in outer space, that's what it was. It was this big weird wad of shit in the sky. Had a really bright, had a reddish tinge to it. And obviously I didn't share with you on here. Didn't share it with anybody. Just sort of kept it to myself. And later on, when I was on the treadmill, you know, I got all these stupid TVs in front of me, and there it was on the news, that same image, and it was a Tesla rocket launch, SpaceX rocket launch rather, over on the and the exact picture of the launch. Apparently, it's this effect of once a rocket or a missile gets to a certain elevation, you know, it's once out of the darkness. So we're in the darkness, but as it gets high enough in altitude, it begins to be lit up by the sun as it comes to an angle around the earth. But man, to see that thing in the sky, going back to that whole fire in the sky scenario that I used to so fear. I mean, I wasn't afraid. I've since gotten over that. You know, something about getting older and experience in the darkness and whatever the hell. But to Sned, I definitely get what you're saying about the distance and time and other beings out in the universe. The whole thing is fascinating. It's something that when I really need to chill out mentally, I find myself contemplating it, you know, contemplating the distance and just giving my mind a little problem to play with that I'm not smart enough to solve. But there is a video, if you research it, and if you want, I can put it on a link. And I think this has to do with, this is along the lines of Einsteinian physics, or just physics in general. The closer that you approach the speed of light, the slower time goes for you. So, in essence, with the exception of being able to monitor what's happening, once you begin the journey to your location, you yourself don't actually age. So if these intergalactic travelers are moving along, they're able to actually make the trip without aging, according to how this theory would go. So you and I hop into a spaceship and we want to go to Alpha Centauri or wherever. That's the closest place. Let's say it's going to be a hop, skip, and a jump. You and I set up a gas station there. However many hundreds of light years away, I don't even know what it is. But as you and I make the journey, it's as if we made it there instantaneous, like 1 second. I think it has to do with, as we're going the speed of light, we become as a photon, not this physical thing. And all boils down to the relativity of space and time. Wonderful exercise to just dive into. Because for me, I think you've got a bead on time and perspective, and then there it is. You look up to the sky and you get a bird's eye view into eternity. Fascinating stuff. There are a couple things in play though that I was thinking of. It isn't too just a matter of that somebody is giving out messages to us. I think over time, historically, we've sent out probes, like almost broadcasting our location. Is it Voyager 1, Voyager 2, notwithstanding the signals and pulses that we've sent from the Earth. So it's more too than they just got a bead in a telescope. I mean, there's some broad range shit thrown out there, and I don't know. It's all good. I will say, speaking of SpaceX and the logic of making the human species extraplanetary to kind of hedge our bets against our own destruction. Just cool thoughts, cool topic, and that whole roll call of looking for people to go to Mars to be the initial settler. That was a fascinating little exercise that you don't see much of. All a delightful distraction. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope the caravan is doing good for you, Sned. I too am close to being in the market for a what we call an RV, recreational vehicle. I'm leaning more towards a RV itself. We call them like a van, where the front portion is cut away and it has like a larger box on the backside. I think it's referred to as a lorry, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you may know what I'm talking about. Like a delivery vehicle that's not like not like the pickup truck that I had with a tray in the back, but it's like a big, kind of like my 4Runner but larger, what we call a van, where it's cut away on the front. I'm between that or a smaller travel trailer that my 2024 4Runner could pull. I don't think I'd pull it with a 2012. It's just a little too old. But the problem I have is that's a fairly lightweight vehicle. And here, it's not legal to have someone in the trailer portion while you're driving. And I think for maximum comfort, I sort of want to give the option of, my wife or whomever is with us for the trip to be able to kind of chill in the back or sleep in the back while we're driving if the need be. Downside of it, and let me know what your solution is on that. When you get to the place you're getting to, having such a vehicle isn't exactly something that you can park, as opposed to when you have a travel trailer, you can unhook from the trailer caravan as the I don't want to say the word because you'll get busted in your own country for me to say it, but the people who live in caravans, once you unhook, you can run around in whichever. And I'm not interested yet in buying a larger vehicle to pull it. Let me know what you got. I'm enjoying the conversation about outer space. And when I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut. Yep. A Special Forces Green Beret Ninja astronaut. Seems unrealistic until there was a particular man in NASA. He was, no shit, a Navy SEAL doctor astronaut, which isn't quite enough to where he stole my idea, but that's pretty fucking close, man. All right, guys, let me know. And if you guys are really, really out of your mind curious about it, I might find a way to make a jaunt over to the Space Coast. I think I owe the Lamb Dog channel another beach anyway. There's a beach over there. All right, y'all. Keep banging.